Okay, welcome to this pension school tutorial on the most simple financial plan someone can have. This person here is a single person with no dependents. He has a job which gives him a net income of £29,562 a year, and we'll just show his a couple of key expenditure items here. He's paying rent of £550 a month. He's not a homeowner, so he's still paying rent. And there's this fritter away item we've got in here, which basically is an item which will spend £30 per day if he's got that amount of money to spend, but won't spend anything if he doesn't have the money to spend. So this simulates the fact that people will tend to, if they don't have a structured saving plan, will tend to just spend whatever spare cash they have. So all we're going to see in this demonstration is what happens to your state pension and what happens with auto-enrolment as time goes on if you don't make any active decisions about your financial circumstances. So we'll select the run button. You'll see time moving forward, and after a bit we'll see the nest scheme appear. So here the nest scheme has appeared, a contribution has appeared also. He's putting £183.73 out of his gross salary into that nest scheme, and if we go down here we can see the email from the HR director, and it's telling us that we're actually putting in 5% of our gross salary and the 3% has been put in by the employer. So let's, if we display that as value, we can see how much is actually in the nest scheme at any point in time, and you can see that money going up over time as we put more and more of our savings in it. What I can also do now is select on that fund and see what's inside it, and we've got a cash float, a bond fund, and a generic equity fund in there. If I look at the investment policy, I can see the investment policy I have in this fund is to target 20% cash, 50% bonds, and 30% equity. So it's a fairly conservative fund. And if I continue to run forward, I can see how those amounts. The cash float is varying because money's being paid into the cash float, which has then been invested into the other funds. That's why the cash float seems quite volatile. Now the model's stopped now because we've breached the overdraft limit. So for the sake of this model, I'm just going to increase the overdraft limit, go ahead with payment. If I look where I'm at on my current account, you can see I've gone over the 5,000, which happens to be my overdraft limit at the moment. But by just increasing the overdraft limit, I can then carry on. And the model will automatically cut down on the fritter away item as I've obviously spent too much money. And same thing happens again there. You'll notice here in the economy pane that interest rates are quite high at the moment. According to the model, that's nearly 20 years into the future, and inflation is also quite high. House prices, that's an average house price index, so house prices are also gone up quite a lot, but that's over a long period of time. I'm actually going to remove the fritter away item now, as it's obviously can't really be afford to be frittering away money at all given the state of the current account. And you'll see now the current account is actually picking up value as I'm not wasting that money, and it's actually picked up quite a lot of value there. So this is something that might well happen, you know, as we get towards retirement, as we're more conscious of saving anyway. As you get to age 68, you get to your state pension date, and we've got the choice of drawing our state pension, which is £40,000 in this case. So we'll decide to draw that, and we can also draw our work-related pension, which is the nest pension scheme. So I'm going to select leave this job and start drawing pensions accrued. Are you actively seeking work? No, that's in terms of job seekers allowance. Since we've actually got £229,000 in our current account, I'm not going to take the lump sum in this case, so I'm going to take the entire pension as an annuity. And there's different annuities we can buy, so we're going to select the one that's increasing with RPI here. An income of £1 a year will cost £15. Now you'll see interest rates are quite high, but inflation is also fairly high, so it's a sort of average cost annuity for a 68-year-old. and you've got 818,000 in your pension and have chosen to take nothing as a lump sum. So this leaves you with a pension of 54,000. So I'm going to click go ahead and purchase the annuity. If I go into display as income, I can see there obviously not the 54,000 because this is the net amount. The 54,000 was the gross amount. So that's the net amount of income we're going to receive from that annuity. In addition to that, again, our state pension of 40,000, and we've got enough cash that we're getting an interest return of 11,000 on our cash. So we can see those amounts represented graphically down here, and we can see our liabilities as well represented graphically here, and they're roughly the same amount. So if I allow this to run forward again now, I can see, I'm just going to display as value, I can see what's happening to my cash. So my cash is holding up pretty well, and I appear to have enough to live off in retirement. So that shows for this individual, as I say, with no liabilities, no family to pay for, his nest scheme has been invested well enough and has paid for his retirement. Just allow that to run a bit further. You see interest rates have fallen a bit, and now we've reached the point where James has died. Now this becomes relevant where you've got descendants and you've got to worry about inheritance tax. In this case, there's no actual inheritance tax payable because he's well within the inheritance tax allowance. But in some cases it will be, and the model will help people actually plan how they arrange their assets to avoid that inheritance tax. So that gives you an idea of the most simple form of financial circumstances somebody can have, and how they get to retirement through that.